International Student Life. We tell stories, and our story is international student education in Melbourne, Australia. So welcome to this live stream, a short, sharp news live stream, and we're just keeping you up to date with news that we find interesting about Melbourne, Australia, with regards to international students. So we'd like to welcome you back, all of our audience. Thank you so much for keeping up with us. And let's have a look. We'll take a quick break. We're going to be talking in this episode during this live stream about Australia's happiest international university students. But before we do that, let's just remind ourselves about the fantastic welcome that the City of Melbourne gave to international students in March 2023 at Melbourne's famous Queen Victoria Market.
We're absolutely delighted to be with you tonight for this very special Queen Victoria Market night market, which is all about welcoming our international students. Students over the last 3 years, and we've also been so grateful to those who stayed for persisting and showing so much resilience. Our latest stats show that there are 138,000 international students back in Victoria, which is 92% of pre-pandemic levels. Because international students aren't just valuable on our campuses and in our tertiary institutions, they're fantastic customers and consumers, they're wonderful participants and volunteers, they're incredible workers in our local businesses particularly, and this is about setting up relationships for the long term. If you are an international student, could you please put your hand up?
Yes, hello, hello.
Volunteers to compete.
So there you can see that welcome event. The speaker was the Lord Mayor of Melbourne, Sally Capp, and it was extremely well attended. And for those that booked ahead, they were welcomed with free food and drinks. So how about that? So that'll make anyone happy. Now, while we are just going through this news item, we want to just keep things visually interesting here in the background, and we'll just play some of this footage from Orientation Week in 2022. If you're looking to become an international student in Melbourne, perhaps you might be interested to see what happens on a typical orientation day in Melbourne, Australia. So this is some footage that Wise Words Media has shot and edited. This is the RMIT campus one of the orientation days there in 2022. So let's just go through this news about yesterday. We found out who Australia's happiest international students are, and whereabouts are they? Well, a survey was done by one of the government bodies or an education expert, and her results were published, and she was saying that some of the smaller private universities in Australia have some of Australia's happiest students. And if you're familiar with the term, the group of 8 universities in Melbourne, such as, which also includes Melbourne University, Monash University, some of these might, in this report, have been reported to not quite have the happiest or satisfied students. But the quality indications in this Learning and Teaching Student Experience Survey, they interviewed 244,000 undergraduates and postgraduates to measure student support, learning resources, skills development, learner engagement and teaching quality nationwide at Australia's 42 universities. And it turns out that the nation's smallest university, the University of Divinity in Melbourne's Box Hill, the suburb of Box Hill, has been voted as having the highest overall quality educational experience in Australia for 4 of the past 6 years. But the quality of the entire educational experience for undergraduate universities was represented in a graph there, and all universities achieved a very satisfactory rating of just under 80%, and that includes Victoria University, Melbourne University, Australian Catholic University in Melbourne, Monash University, Deakin University. So all 10 Melbourne universities featured quite prominently and satisfactory there in Melbourne, Australia. And just looking down some of the comments from some of the university professionals, the higher education consultant responsible for the publishing of this data, Claire Field, she said that student feedback showed that universities such as Monash University, Melbourne University in Victoria needed to invest a little bit more in supporting students who pay a lot for degrees, and certainly international students would agree with that, because they need all the support they can get, and the price of tertiary education in Australia has more than doubled over the past 2 decades, one of the fastest growing expenses in the country. And according to this consultant, Claire Field, it begs the question as to how some of our well-ranked research-intensive universities, why are they doing, can they be doing better against public universities, some of these private? And the comment being that, yes, you need to get good employment outcomes, but if you've had not such a great time and struggled with your studies, struggled with support, that's not so good either. Now, the link to this article, which includes some feedback here about Monash University, who said recent surveys of more than 7,000 of their students actually found that 85% of their students had a strong sense of belonging. And Monash also said that if you're going to compare universities in Australia on the basis of satisfaction, it can be a little problematic. It's a very subjective thing, satisfaction judgments, and student expectations of their higher education experiences can vary considerably, and that's a fair comment. The University of Melbourne was contacted by this publication, the Melbourne Age, for comment, but they didn't get back in time, and that's pretty much all that report has to say. So let's just take a quick break, and we'll come back with some further thoughts about how international students might like to make sure that their university experience is top-notch. So what do you think about this? What do you think? Have some thoughts if you're a prospective international student looking to come to Australia and study in Melbourne at one of our 10 universities, or maybe you're here already. What makes you happiest about your future university experience or your current university experience? Please let us know and leave a comment below. What did you think of this episode? Leave us a like or a comment. Even a subscription would be fantastic. So we'll leave it off there. And Wise Words Media, we are a honest broker of information about international student education. We produce digital content, both video and audio, in Melbourne, Australia. That's where we're based, and we are a bespoke boutique production service specialising in unscripted and scripted factual content. And we promote and advocate and research the international student sector, as well as the professional side of the international student education sector. And if you've got queries, you'd like to collaborate with us, or you've got some business queries, you're more than welcome to contact us. info@wisewords.com.au. Our audience is not just in Melbourne, but global. So if you're a prospective or current international student, if you're a parent looking to sort out the information about different universities in Australia or around the world, maybe you're an international student recruitment agent around the world, perhaps you work in a tertiary institution yourself. You might be in the TAFE sector, the undergraduate sector, postgraduate research, you might be an alumni professional or work in the English language space for TEFL and TESOL qualifications. Or perhaps you're a registered training organisation, but we're especially looking to work with international trade organisations such as the American Chamber of Commerce, the Australia Latin American Business Council and Export Australia. We're also happy to hear from international recruitment agents, as well as our peers in the digital content creative space, as well as content producers and strategists. So we'll leave it off there. If you've got any more questions about international student education or admission details, if you need more help, the best thing to do is to contact your international student support team at your university, or the university you're planning to apply to, their admissions team, or you can leave us a comment below and we'll try to help you out as best you can. So we'll leave it off there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, we'll be having lots more live streams and presentations as we go along, and we'll also continue to be publishing content which we've been doing for the last couple of years. So that's all for now. This has been This International Student Life, produced by Wise Words Media in Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll chat to you soon. That's all we have for you now in this episode. We've somehow managed to fit all the information in. The other thing I would like to say, and just remind you, is that this channel is we are based in Melbourne, Australia. Wise Words Media has a lot of experience in international student education, creating marketing, video and audio content for international students. We also have a lot of experience settling people from overseas into life in Melbourne since 1979. We love showing off Melbourne, and we love helping people get familiar with everything this city has to offer. So make sure that you make the fullest of everything life in Melbourne has to offer through your university. Your international student support team has many activities throughout the year, not just orientation week. There's many things to take advantage of, many clubs and societies. And if you're a student whose language, English, is a second language, don't stop yourself and be anxious about joining in. Get involved, practice your English, find conversation clubs, and we'll wrap it up there. You've been listening to This International Student Life. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, and we want to thank you for joining us in this episode, and make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't have to pay anything. It's free to listen, free to watch, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. This video contains nil paid promotion. All international student information is compiled from sources available in the public domain. For further information, visit your university website, international student offices, or an international education recruitment agent in your country. This International Student Life is produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films. We accept no responsibility for any errors or omission of information in this video.